Pull up in motorcades, I got a show today. It's all I'm trying to do. Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the overweight. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. Cause I took control of things. Ballin' the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Slossin' that soldier race. Niggas don't know them days. Take you in back of the buildings. Make you expose your rage. Take you across the tracks. Make you explode the face. Now you official now, but you got a soul to save. I just been cooking that new. I'm about to drop in a few. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth. I ain't really trip on the credit. I just paid all of my dues. I just respected the game. Now my name all in the news. Tripping on all of my moves. Quote me on this, got a lot more to prove. Remember I came in this bitch, fresh out the county with nothing to lose.
For nothing, no. Wanna count on you, but I don't do this shit for nothing. No, not at all.
What's up, guys? Ringside Brandon Kyle here. As you know, Triumphant Muay Thai series is returning May 28th in San Diego. I am here with our world champion, Eddie Abasolo, who is taking on Australia's David Pinnipede, this time for a WBC Naknam Tom championship title, the inaugural one in the WBC. Welcome, Eddie, or I should say thank you for welcoming me to your beautiful gym, Resistance here.
It's like you never left, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, we're back down south, not Mexico this time, San Diego. Lucas, can you shut up? We're doing an interview here. Oh my God. Cut it. Just, we're gonna roll it. We're rolling it. We're just gonna roll it, okay? Lucas can't wait to get up, man. So, okay. He's everywhere. So we're in Mexico. We're doing some California love. We have a lot of SoCal fighters that have fought for us, so it's nice to have a card in San Diego. And dude, like, Mexico is beautiful, but it ain't home. It ain't California. How you feel about this fight coming up in San Diego? I mean, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a big one. So, what's going through your mind coming up, champ, for this next event?
Man, I've got a lot of tools that I've been working on, and I can't wait to just like put some things together. You know what I mean? Man, I feel confident. I don't see myself losing. I really don't. I can probably say that this is probably one of the best camps I've ever had. I know I say that every camp, but there's been a few factors that have helped me in this camp, like training at Wooderman with Johnson on.
Yeah, some big cross training going on with those boys.
And all those guys definitely keep me honest out there as well, you know what I mean? I'm learning a lot from over there, so I just can't wait to put some things together, and it's just like I can't wait to paint this canvas with some new colors.
Yeah, you got some new strokes to your game, and I've noticed that too about your training and the way you talk. Before it was kind of more of a, it was like I'm going to try to do this. I think I'm going to do that. I hope to do this, and now it's much more like I can do this. I will do this. Watch me do this. It's just a different confidence, It's like I look at kind of like Tom Brady. I don't know if you've watched the Man in the Arena on ESPN. It's a great ESPN Plus little 10-part series about every Super Bowl he went to. But you see the first one he won, he's like, I'm just trying to do my best. I'm just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Then he won a second one, or like a second title defense or whatnot. He builds confidence to where, as he goes into a season now, as opposed to, I don't know what we have to do to win, into a mode more like, this is what we have to do to win. I know what we have to do to win, and if I execute this game plan, we're going to win. Is that kind of how it is going into this camp? Now you've been champ, you've defended. It's like, okay, you kind of don't have question marks going into camp anymore. You kind of know what works for you, I should say.
Pretty much. It's clockwork now. It's I know what I have to do. I don't care where the fight goes, whether I'm moving back, I'm moving forward. If we're in the clinch, I don't care where it goes. For me, I have an answer for everything right now, and I'm gonna enjoy every second of the fight. You know.
So you got David Pinimpede. I mean, he's not a chump from Australia. He's the first Australian that we've had on the show. Who was the last Australian here? Oh, first pop quiz question. Pop quiz, hot shot. Who was the last Australian we had on the show, and what was he fighting for?
Man, I didn't even know when my wedding was. I didn't even know when my wedding was.
It was Eddie Farrell. He fought Narpol, fighting for the 160-pound title.
I remember that fight.
160. No, that was the super middleweight. I think 168 they fought that fight at. So Eddie's now in Tulum. He's got a camp out there, and I hope to visit him eventually.
Yeah.
And hope to get him on a card. Man, next time we're in Mexico, let's get Eddie back. But yeah, ironically enough, Eddie Farrell fought Narpol in Oakland. I think it was T3. Did you fight on that card?
Not
Lucas Martino's in the back here being loud and shit, so we might as well talk to him. Did you fight on that card, or did you? Who was the main event for the card you fought? You fought in Oakland, right?
Yeah, I fought on one with Asa and Nick Chastain.
Oh, Asa fought Nick Chastain, up a weight. Yeah, that was a crazy fight.
But I don't remember who the main event was off the top of my
I
head.
think it was Jenna that fight.
Was that the Jenna Fabian and then Charlene? What's her name?
It was.
Yeah, that was the main event. She knocked her out with a head kick, cold,
Yeah,
flat.
that was
Ooh.
tight.
So you were there at that one, then. Did
Yeah.
you see that Asa and Nick Chastain fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, because some of these names might want to be getting your name out their mouth, because some of these names I've recently mentioned might have been like, I'll fight that dude. Why ain't I fighting that dude for the title? I'm not mentioning names on that Asa 10-pound Nick Chastain fight. I'm not mentioning names though.
Yeah.
But some people be want to calling you out, you know. But you know, we looking at it like, hey, we ain't seen you fight in a minute. You damn near WWE somebody over the ropes in the last fight we saw you. Hey, to be honest with you, we was looking at that though, but we might be looking at that. You know, people starting to talk. You know, when you're the champ, you know, people start to say, oh, why I should fight that guy? Why don't I fight that guy? You know. But again, you know, everyone fights each other around here. We're trying to bring in international competition. Mm-hmm. We're trying to bring in one of the best in Australia to fight someone from America. It's a world title belt. You know, you see a lot of world title belts, and everybody's from like, you know, the same area code. Like, oh, you beat everybody in your area code. You're a world title fighter now. You know. Do you know anything about David? You know, he's got a bunch of experience. Fought in Thailand. Fought a bunch of big fights, beat some bigger names.
I know a little bit about him. I've been doing my research on him, you know, watching film and stuff like that. And as confident as I am, that's what also makes me excited, is because he's probably going to be one of my toughest challenges yet.
Yeah.
You know? And I know that what I'm capable of, but sometimes unless someone brings it out of me, it goes unseen.
Yeah, the true warrior.
I mean?
He wants to challenge himself in
Yeah.
battle, right?
Yeah, you know,
it's very
how we-
samurai shit,
How
dog.
we grew up to a lot of the cartoons that we grew up to. The bad guy was basically just someone going around looking for the toughest motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Who's
I
worthy.
challenge you. Yeah.
They're looking for someone who can beat them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
their genuine search.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel.
That's kind of
You know
all
what
the
I mean?
movies we grew up on.
Yeah.
All the kung fu, all the anime.
Yeah.
It's all like someone comes to challenge.
Yeah.
Who's the shows enough? Who's the baddest? You're talking D'Angelo Ty, his favorite movie. The only movie from the 80s he's seen is Last Dragon. Hey, I ain't mad at you if the only movie you've seen is Last Dragon, but you don't get my Bloodsport reference. We got a problem. I told Eddie, you better get your guys, your youngsters here. You need to have a day where you watch Bloodsport. Okay, if you had a day where you made all the youngsters watch the movies you grew up on, what movie would it be? So I make them watch Bloodsport. Mm-hmm. Think, what else you grow up on? You talk about these movies. What'd you grow up on?
Probably one of the most iconic movies for me that made me probably who I am today was one of them is Best of the Best. Best of the Best, because there was so much adversity and turmoil.
Bro, and it was that tournament thing too, where it was kind of like Mortal Kombat feel, where it's like this style versus that style.
Yeah. And the Asian squad was the baddest motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they did it. You know what I mean? Especially when I forgot his name. But
they did a couple of them.
One of them, he got his shoulder popped out by some illegal kick or some shit. And then they were trying to stop it. He was like, no,
Nah.
pop it back in.
Pwah!
Pop it, pop. And he fought the rest of the fight and fucked him up with one arm. That's why I'm like, psh.
That's that shit where you're like broken jaw?
Yeah.
Broken jaw fight?
Yeah.
Oh, that was gross.
Yeah.
I had no clue. That shit was jiggle-jaggling after the
Man,
fight.
hey,
This
after
dude broke it. What round did you break your jaw? You fought like a whole round and a half, right?
At the bell of the 4th.
So go
at
you
the
the whole last fifth.
Yep.
You were just. And did you know it was jiggle jaggle?
Yeah.
Were you Mr. Bo Jiggle Jangles
I
up in there?
felt it immediately. I felt like my jaw wasn't under me. I felt like it was right here.
Weird
No matter
feeling.
what.
That's
Yeah.
a weird
Yeah.
feeling.
So,
But you don't feel too much pain in the fight, but you know something's majorly wrong. It's not like, oh shit, I'm in so much pain I can't fight, but like, you know, like that ain't right.
yeah.
Like my shit's fucked up.
Well, it triggered something crazy in me, you know.
Oh, a primal thing, huh?
I was just sitting there and I was sitting in the chair and I was like, fuck, my career is done. All right, might as well go out with a bang. You know, I got one more round left in me. So, like, I'm
That's
out there
cool.
and finished it,
That's
you know?
that last fucking warrior.
Yeah.
That's the dude that's like, no, leave me.
Yeah. Just save yourself.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man. That's what it's all about. Well, you got a big one coming up in front of you. It seems like it's business as usual.
Yeah.
How's life? How's gym ownership, bro? Because this, you know, the more you coach, the less you train, is what I've told people.
Yeah.
You got to be really tactical, because it's like the classes you would have just come in before, just take 3 classes, train, hit the bag on my own.
Yeah.
But when you're coaching classes now, you're responsible for the gym. You know, you got kids, you got to get your kids here.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, man. How are you balancing father life, gym owner life, fighter life, coach life? You know, I mean, what's the recipe for you?
For me, it's just understanding that, like, not tripping when I fail.
No.
Constantly failing, you know what I mean? Like, one thing I've learned by sitting on the balance board for as long as I do is that it's just constantly catching my balance. You know? Like, that's all it really is.
Interesting.
A master of balance.
There is no recipe.
Yeah.
There is no, this is the schedule that's perfect and
Yeah.
it always is going to work and
Yeah.
I figured it. There's no figuring it out.
Yeah. A master of balance is not someone who is never off balance. A master of balance is someone who's a master at catching their balance when they lose it. That way you never knew they were off balance in the first place.
They don't fall.
Yeah, you know, like a tightrope walker. When he first gets on the tightrope, you know, he's jiggling.
Yeah.
And, as he perfects his craft, that's still happening, but internally.
It's minute.
But from
It's
the
just the
outside
feet
looking
maybe
in,
just jiggling
yeah.
at this point.
But from the outside looking in, it just
It looks like he's
it's
calmly
floating.
walking across that
Yeah.
shit. That fucker's stressing. He's flexing the whole time to
Yeah,
get that shit
like
done.
he
Not
just-
stressing, but you know what I mean. His
He's
feet
fine.
are
Yeah.
He's working, even though
he shrinks this rhythm into where it's less. It's more adjustments, but it's less of an adjustment.
Yeah.
So it's just knowing, okay, when I talk to my kids, whenever I'm communicating with my wife, like, I have intent with everything that I've tried to do. If I'm coaching right now, all right, I'm coaching. Like, this is my intent. If I'm not worried about, oh fuck, I got this. I got that. It's just like,
I'm here. This is
I don't
what
have
I'm
no
doing.
control over none of that.
Uh.
So if I'm coaching, this is my intent. If I'm sitting here chopping it up with you, this is my intent. I'm not,
Cool.
like, whatever bills, whatever, like, it don't matter right now. Not
There's
right
time
now.
for everything, and then
Yeah.
right now, so it's compartmentalizing your focus.
Yeah.
You're not going, fuck, I gotta coach this class, but then I gotta get my kids, then I gotta get dinner.
Yeah.
Because you're not thinking about all that. You're just thinking, I gotta coach my class right now.
Yeah.
And then I'll think about that kind of as it comes. An old saying that I like, that I've heard many years ago that I still tell people is, you can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf. I like that.
Yeah.
I tell people that when shit just keeps on coming. Look, if you're gonna sit here going, when are the waves gonna stop?
Mm-hmm.
They're not. They're not. While you're breathing and living,
Yeah.
life is gonna keep rolling just like the waves, and new shit's gonna come. Sometimes it's great and you're riding a great wave in. Sometimes you're getting sucked up and sent out to the fucking middle of the ocean. You gotta swim your ass all the way back to shore, start all over again.
Yeah.
But I like that philosophy, man. That's cool.
And
Because-
just knowing that everything is subject to change. Everything. And once you realize that, you're let down less frequently.
You
Because
read
it's like-
Bruce Lee. You read Bruce Lee's book before, because you
Uh-uh.
read the book and see how much philosophy that you are spitting right now that he spit in his book. Like
okay.
the first 15 pages is philosophy.
Yeah.
He doesn't do any technique.
Oh, tight.
It's like, make yourself a this.
Yeah.
Make yourself a this. One thing I think you'll like, and I tell people this a lot. One of my probably the one that sticks out the most. There's a couple Bruce Lee quotes, but he said, make yourself a wood block. Make yourself a wood block. Because if you walk into somewhere, a gym or an art studio, wherever, you're an artist walking to an art studio, you're a fighter walking to a gym, if you walk in and you consider yourself a perfectly chiseled wood statue, you're not going to let anybody even think about putting anything. Oh, don't touch me with that chisel.
Yeah.
I'm fucking perfect.
Yeah.
But if you go in, even though you're a beautiful statue, you go and think of wood block, you'll let everybody take their chips. You don't got to keep it. You take that advice. Yeah. Some people don't try to tell me. You see the kids. I mean, we all see the youngsters. Don't try to tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Later on, they learn, and then they come back like, oh, you know what I mean? But that's that thing. Those kids come in, they think they're a perfectly chiseled statue. Yeah. I'm just here to hit the bag, bro, and get my work in. You don't got to tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, dude. You know, while there be a kid, they'll give me a wood block and a perfectly chiseled statue kid, and give me 6 months with that wood block, and I'll have them whooping the shit out of that perfectly chiseled statue, no matter how ripped or athletic that fucking kid is, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd rather have a good student. If I have to choose, I'd rather have a good student over a good athlete. Yep. Of course, I want a good athlete who's also a good student. But if I have to choose, I'm a great athlete, but I'm a horrible student, or I'm not the best athlete, but I'm a great student, I'll take that good student 10 times out of 10, dude.
No doubt. Because that will last longer as well. You know what I mean? Athleticism don't last that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you see that.
Yeah.
This lasts. Mm-hmm. And remember, coaches used to say, and everything, wrestling, football, whatever sport you played, if you ever played sports, it's 90% mental. I remember in high school, I'm like, you're crazy. Especially football. I'm a little short, fat little lineman looking at these big dudes. How can I push this guy off of this line? Well, you're faster than him. If you get into him before he gets out of his 3-point stance, he's bigger and stronger than me. It ain't going to happen. But then as you fight, you start to realize, like the mind, how important the mind is, dude. How important that this is really driving this. That this is just the vehicle.
Yeah.
This is just a vessel. Yeah. Who's manning the ship? Who's piloting the fighter? You know. So that's cool, man. I love picking your brain because you have such a, outside the box look at fighting. Mm-hmm. And I think that's like people want to know your secret. And, I don't think it's a technique. I don't think it's a move. I think it's more of a philosophy. And then it's this ever growing. Bruce Lee talks about the knowing. He goes, the minute you find knowledge, it's changed. Mm-hmm. I don't want to gain knowledge because the minute I think I know something, it's already different. Yeah. He said, I want to tap in to the knowing. Mm-hmm. The ever-changing, because the knowledge is that. The knowing is I'm tapped into something that is changing, and
constantly flowing.
I flow with it. I'll leave you with one more, and I think you'll like this one too, because you're an artist. I think you see it as art. Yeah. He said, art is at its highest form when devoid of self-consciousness. Man is at his peak when he has no idea of what impression he is making or about to make. That's that flow state you talk about. Yeah. When you're thinking about the crowd and my opponent, you can't get in that flow state. Your body-mind connection gets all But if you can tap in and be devoid of any self-consciousness of what these people think or what it looks like I'm doing or gonna do, and you can just let yourself flow. Yeah. Bang, you got it.
Once we let go of the ego, we can do that because it's like the ego is, what does this person think of me? You know what I mean?
That's the block. That's the chi block, the ego. Yeah. And I noticed that with the people that have to look good, I said, just make them look bad a little bit and they'll just start to crack. Yeah. And Dan Gable said this about people with steroids. He goes, I don't mind it. I know I'm wrestling these Russians that are all juiced up. I like it, he says, because when they can't break me and they know I'm not on it, and I start to break them and they know they're on it, he said they crumble faster than anybody else. Yeah. Because I'm on the juice, I worked as hard as I possibly could, and I can't break this man. And I know he's not juicing, and he's breaking me. He goes, they're mentally weak. Yeah. And as soon as I start to, a little crack turns into a big crack, and they crumble quickly. Yeah. Because I know mentally, once I see that little bit of doubt in them, I expose it, and then I know they're just gonna crack. So that ego, man, you gotta watch that ego. Yeah. And you gotta watch Eddie Abasolo coming up May 28th, Triumphant. Muay Thai series is back, triumphantcombatsports.com. You can rent the pay-per-view on ViewStub, guys. Eddie's going to defend his middleweight crown here coming up against David Pinimpede. I mean, every time he's up there, it's a show. Can't wait to see him again. The Eddie Abasolo show is back.
Yes, sir.
And what's that, May 18th, San Diego, the Hilton, guys. We will see you there. Eddie, thank you so much for joining us, man. Or letting us join you, I should say, at your beautiful gym here.
Sure, man.
And we'll see you next time. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize this, but, sorry, you know, I was actually talking to John Herney about how they named it the Resistance. Apparently, it's named after Le Resistance of the French Revolution. John Herney's great-great-grandfather was a revolutionary in France. His name was Jean-Pierre Hernay, is how they said it over there. And that's why they named it the Resistance. Weird enough, I'm totally bullshitting you right now. But that would have been a great story, man. Right?
You had me down.
It's his gym, you don't know. All right, hey, thanks for sitting down and talking with us. May 28th, excited to see you in San Diego, fight for that WBC belt. Guys, tickets available at triumphantcombatsports.com. Also, ViewStub will be having it stream live pay-per-view. So if you want to see this man fight for that green belt coming up here at the end of May, definitely hit us up. We will see you ringside. Woo!